Hello, my amazing kings and queens. King Moreland here. As you know, I'm on a mission to help you unlock your fullest potential and become the absolute best version of yourselves. Whether you're facing challenges, chasing dreams, or just looking to level up, you've come to the right place. Every week, we'll dive deep into strategies, mindset shifts, and practical tools that will help you transform your life from inside and out. This is your channel for personal development so you can become a powerhouse in the world, where mediocrity isn't an option and excellence is our standard. So, if you're ready to join a community of passionate individuals committed to growth, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's start this journey together. All right, so for this week's topic, I want to talk to you all about planning out your life. So, the title of this one is The Art of Life Design, a journey from dreams to legacy. And pretty much what that means is how do you plan your life out from start to finish? Because a lot of us are lost and we kind of go throughout life without a map, like without a pathway, right? We kind of go through life on autopilot. And I was there, so I'm not judging. I'm trying to help. I think it's very important for us to get to a place where we're actually planning things out and we aren't just going throughout life without a roadmap. Because as you can see, I don't, not anymore. I actually planned out everything that you guys witnessed during that graduation. That was like 3 years in the making. So sometimes in life, when your plan and God's plan coincides, you get special moments like going on the stage with a graduation trophy. At any moment, that could have got shut down by anybody. But sometimes you're blessed to have your plan work out because your plan for you and God's plan for you comes together. So, step one, your life design blueprint. Here's where you start. In life, the greatest achievements start with a dream. They take shape through planning and materialize through dedicated action. This is your journey to craft an extraordinary life. So to begin with start one, you start with your vision. And here's how you come up with a great vision. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And now imagine your ideal life. What impact do you want to make? What legacy do you want to leave behind? This is where your mindset starts shifting. You start thinking about how do you want to be remembered, right? You begin with the end in mind. And teaching, which is the field that I come from, we actually call that the backward design method, which essentially means that you come up with, you using the standards for English, which is what I majored in, you'll figure out what you want the students to learn, and then based off the standards for English, you'll come up with a lesson plan that encapsulates what you want those students to learn. So you kind of like design the lesson plan backwards. You start with what you want them to get out of it, and then you figure out how you're going to put together a lesson plan that has a visual and has like different methods where they can use kinetic learning as well to learn what you're trying to teach them. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that with our life. Imagine what you want your life to become. Imagine who you want to be around you, and then begin your planning. So what that looks like is this. Step two, working with backwards planning. Your grandest vision, you'll begin to have daily steps to bring it into reality. This is an approach that ensures every small action aligns with the ultimate goal. So you'll start small. Say, for instance, you want to have six-pack abs. Every day you should be doing something that gets you closer to that goal, whether it's doing sit-ups or making sure you eat right and your calorie intake is low. You're doing something that gets you closer to that goal. You want to make sure you're not setting unrealistic goals. It's okay to set a really huge unrealistic goal that's far out, but the day-by-day goals have to be very small and actionable so you can, line them up above each other. So that's going to be very important. Then step three, this is where things get good. you'll want to put together a timeline. And it's very important that you don't just think of this, but you actually put it on paper. Because when you're actually able to visualize it and see it, you have something tangible that you can look at and you have a roadmap. So day by day, if you're looking at it, what for me, for example, I actually have a roadmap and it's like on the wall. That way, I'm able to actually see what I'm looking at, and I'm actually able to see what I'm going after. So I know if I'm getting closer to that goal by my daily actions, or I know if I'm getting farther away from it. So you'll want to start putting that together, and this could be something that happens in one day if you just beast it out, or it could be something that happens over time. But step by step, you want to make sure you have that roadmap and make it tangible to where you can actually see it. And when I do it, I kind of put it together like this. I'll start with one day. I didn't start off planning my life like 50 years down the line. I started off with just one day. What do you want tomorrow to look like? It could be your morning routine. It could be the tasks that you have given priority to. It could be your self-care activities. It could be an evening reflection. Whatever it is, you want to put that down. So that's going to be your day one. And then you'll start going a little farther, right? You'll do 3 days. So these are going to be short-term actions that have immediate priorities, daily habits, quick wins, and connection points. So this is where you're putting together things that you can actually like see and you can chart it. Okay, where is this leading me? Are these different tasks leading me somewhere to where I want to go? So for me, is reading. I make sure I read every day. Maybe that's different for you, but this is something that you want to write down. Whatever your goal is, you want to write it down and you want to start doing things that get you closer and closer to that goal, right? So after I plan out 3 days, I kind of skip some days and then I plan out for a week. What do you want next week to look like? What are your weekly priorities? What are your major tasks? What are your habits that you're going to be making sure you stick with to make sure you're able to track your progress after a week? So, because you have to do progress reviews, I make sure that after a week of doing my daily tasks, I see where am I from next week. So you also want to keep track and audit yourself. Are you doing things that are going to get you closer to your goal, or did you lose focus? Are you doing things that are taking you farther away from your goal? So that could be anything. It could even be nurturing relationships. Are you doing things that are going to make your relationship healthier, or are you doing things that are going to make it more so toxic? Right? So after a week, you skip beyond some time and you go to a month. What are your monthly focus areas? What are the key projects that you want to get done? What are the learning goals that you want to have done? What are some health objectives? What are some personal development tasks? You have to make sure you write all these things down, because if you don't write it down, you forget what you're chasing after. When it's like put there on paper, every day you know that what you're doing, if you do what you're supposed to do and you have self-discipline, you're getting yourself closer and closer to that goal, right? So after a month, I do 3 months. So 90 days. What are your quarterly tasks? What habits have you established by then? Because if you've been doing what you're supposed to do day by day, after 90 days, scientifically proven, your habits are established now. Now it becomes just who you are. It's not something you have to think about anymore. Like, I don't think about reading. I just do it because that's something that I've maintained daily and it's become just who I am, right? So that's just for an example. You are supposed to track your skills. What skills have you acquired in those 90 days? And is that skill going to take you to your ultimate goal, right? So then you go to 6 months, you double it. After half a year, have you reached certain milestones? Have you reached certain checkpoints, right? You have to track that. Do you have a lot of projects completed, like things, different tasks that you started? Are they done by then? You want to check that. Is your health and fitness targets, are you halfway there to reaching those, or have you reached them already? When it comes to like learning objectives, have you accomplished those? When it comes to financial goals, have you accomplished those? After half a year, you should have accomplished something, because you don't want to set all your goals so far out there where you don't accomplish them within 6 months. After 6 months, you should have accomplished some goals, and then when you reach those goals, you want to make sure you celebrate every one of them. For me, I'll take myself out to eat or something, or I'll go somewhere with somebody just to celebrate. You want to celebrate every step along the way, because what that does is it gets you in the mindset of knowing that when I do something, whether anybody else celebrates me or not, I'm going to make sure I celebrate me. So it's very important. Then you go to 1 year. What are your annual milestones? Have you reached those? What are the specific measurable goals that you set out for yourself? Have you stuck with those habits that you formed after the first 90 days? Because some of us will form a habit in the first 90 days and then we'll lose track and we'll stop doing it. So after a year, you want to make sure you audit yourself and make sure you kept on the target and you kept going. Then you want to plan out for 3 years. This is the foundational period, right? You should have educational goals, you should have career stepping stones, you should have personal development targets, and you should have health and wellness objectives. By year 3, you should have accomplished a lot, and you should be well on your way to be reaching whatever you have planned for your 5 or 7 years or your 10-year goals. You should be well on your way to reach those, right? So that's actually the next one, right? 5 to 7 years. What are your milestones for those? These are your midterm aspirations. That should be career investment steps, personal growth objectives, lifestyle changes, and skills that you've already mastered or skills that you are setting yourself up to master, right? Those are different things that you want to plan in those areas. You see how it goes as you go far out, they're getting a little more lofty. That's what's supposed to happen. The short-term goals are actually stepping stones for you to get to these longer-term goals. Then you'll get to 10 years. That's, for me, that's the next portion of the map. You got 10 years, right? This is a decade of transformation. For if you start this journey today, 10 years from now, you'll be a completely different person for the better, right? So this is where you should be a professional expert. You should be like high level in whatever field you're in, right? Your personal development should be top notch. Your relationships should be top notch. And financially, if you set goals financially, you should be well within your way to reach whatever financial goals you have set out, whether it's to be a millionaire, billionaire. If you stay focused for 10 years, you're going to get where you're trying to go, right? So after that, you should go to 20 years, right? You double it. Here's where your grand vision is taking hold, right? This is where your life's work becomes a little more important, right? You have major life achievements, you have career pinnacles, you have family milestones. It's not just relationships with a few people. With the entire family is able to be impacted by what you're doing at this point because you've been focused for 10 years, 20 years, right? And not only your family, if you've been focused on huge lofty goals, after 20 years, your community should also feel that. So that's very important, right? And so after that, that's where you get to planning out for your legacy. For me, I've honestly planned out my life 100 years, right? I don't know if I'm going to make it to 100 years, but I know that there's certain things that I want to accomplish if I do make it to 100 years. You know, we can't guarantee anything, but I can guarantee you that failure to prepare is preparing to fail. So it's very important that you prepare because if you do make it to 100 years, you want your life to look how you want it to look if you made it to 100 years. That's how I perceive things, you know. At the end of the day, we're guaranteed to die at some point, but just in case I do live 100 years, I want to have a plan for that, right? And even if you don't make it that far, if you wrote it down, the people that come behind you are able to look at your blueprint and look at what you started on, and maybe they take on your mission and they finish it for you, right? So 50 to 100 years, that's the legacy stage, right? What will your mark be on the world? Whose life will have been better because you existed, right? What stories will people tell about you long after you're gone? What changes do you want to see in the world because you existed? And what values and principles do you want to pass down? That's where your mind has to be when it comes to planning life out 50 to 100 years. That's what do you want your life to have been like? If someone was to put together one sentence talking about what you were able to do in your lifetime, what would you want it to be? For me, I would love for it to be he was a great person. He was somebody that bettered a lot of people's lives, and he was someone who was a beacon of light for those who was in the dark. If I could put together one sentence, that's what it would be. Now, I'm not saying you have to take what I got going on, because at the end of the day, we got to be our own people, right? But I think it's very important for you to have that in your head what you want your life to be like, because that's going to actually help you plan all of these different steps together. So this video is getting kind of long. I'm going to end it there. I think for next Thursday, I want to have something behind me, like a painting or something, for you guys to look at and then not to be so dull behind me. But yeah, I think this is a good first video. And like I said, if you enjoyed this video, please share it with someone who you think it may help. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.